Meghan Markle has certainly made her mark on the fashion world, and not always for the right reasons. While she's had her fair share of elegant moments, certain fashion choices have raised eyebrows, particularly when it comes to events where the dress code or context was perhaps misinterpreted. One such instance took place at the 15% Pledge Gala, an event that celebrated Black History Month and honoured the contributions of Black-owned businesses. Meghan's appearance, however, overshadowed the important work being done by the cause. Her choice of attire, an ambitious albeit somewhat misguided pale pink strapless gown, designed by Charles Harbison, became the focal point of the evening, diverting attention away from the purpose of the event. The dress, with its dramatic black velvet train, was not just long, it was exaggerated to the point of absurdity. At first glance, the pale pink colour of the gown seemed delicate and refined, but the reality of the outfit was far more complex, and not in the good way. As Meghan made her entrance, the train of the dress trailed behind her, making it appear as if it had its own sense of direction, dragging on the floor like it had somewhere important to be. It wasn't just a fashion statement, it was an ordeal for the eyes, one that quickly became the subject of ridicule. Instead of evoking the grace of a Hollywood starlet, it drew comparisons to everyday household items from bathrobes to bed sheets. The unfortunate wrinkles that marked the fabric only added to the train's lack of sophistication. If the gown had been ironed properly, perhaps the result would have been different, but there was no denying that the wrinkles were glaringly obvious. From certain angles, it seemed as though the dress was barely hanging on, too large, too loose, and poorly fitted. The bodice in particular looked like it didn't belong to her, almost as if it had been sewn for someone with a completely different body shape. Despite the noticeable issues with fit and finish, Meghan confidently posed for photos exuding the self-assurance she's become known for. Her signature, "I'm thriving" energy was on full display as she smiled and laughed, seemingly unfazed by the criticisms emerging on social media. But viewers at home were not as forgiving. Social media erupted with criticism, many taking to their platforms to point out the fashion faux pas. Some speculated that Meghan had worn an old dress, perhaps something that had been recycled from awards season, a piece that had never gotten its moment on the red carpet, and was now hastily repurposed for a different kind of event. Others wondered if the dress had been borrowed, hastily fitted, or rushed out by a designer who didn't have time to meet with her in person. Whatever the case, the lack of preparation was clear. The event, which was about uplifting Black creators and businesses, became more about Meghan's fashion misstep than the true cause behind it. There was also the issue of context. Meghan Markle, for all her good intentions, often seems to dress as though she's preparing for a global stage moment, even when the occasion calls for something more grounded.